What's up, Savages? It's Friday, November 23rd, 2018. Let's get after it. What's going on, everybody? So actually, I'm not live. I'm probably gonna just premiere this video because, you know, it's Friday night and I think we have some plans for tomorrow. So I'm actually recording this a little bit early, but doesn't matter. I'll still tune in. I'll have to post it because I don't have enough followers yet, so I can't schedule it. Not a big deal. I'll get in there and share it or post it at 9:30 tomorrow night, or tonight, Friday night. Anyway, good grief, I'm just going off the rails there. Basically, if you're new here, what we do is I have a list of, I think it's 138 or 139 GPU mineable coins right now, and we select a random coin using the random number generator from Google. And then whatever we land on, we choose, we mine it, right? So we go through the steps of mining it, and sometimes it takes, you know, we try to do it within 30 minutes. Sometimes we've been running a little bit long, but the goal is to end before RandomCoin's live stream begins. So basically what I do is I record the randomization part of it and what we pick. In this case, I'll go ahead and start that video. And in this case, we ended up on 69. I cannot make this up. All right, so, and then I can't even make up what we landed on. All right, so we landed on INTUcoin, something like that. I don't know. It's a kryptonite algorithm, which is kind of cool because what I tried to show last night whenever we were mining Masari, I tried to show how you can use XMRig to dual thread, and then also, I mean, it does it automatically, but also control your actual intensity. And I didn't really get to it because we were kind of running a little long, and, you know, we had to get over to RandomCoin's live stream. So not a big deal, but here I am. I'm showing you basically what I was going through. It's not on what to mine. INTUcoin is not. It is a kryptonite algorithm. I think it's regular no. It was a kryptonite light V7, I believe. But I go through their Bitcoin talk here a little bit. You know, it did not, it's one of those coins, you know, that just didn't pop out at me as far as like being super unique or anything too revolutionary or anything like that. It was just kind of like a plain Jane coin, you know, but it seemed like it had a little bit of a niche, whatever, where it seems like, oh my gosh, I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. I'm not going to sneeze. It seems like it had like a niche where it was working with social media, which is kind of cool. I mean, I'm sure there are other coins that do that. I don't know what they are off the top of my head, but this one seemed like that was the one thing that they had kind of going for them. It's not on what to mine. It's not on CoinMarketCap. So it's one of those ones where you kind of like, do you want to really, you know, spend the hash power and actually support this project? You know, I don't know. I don't know about exchanges either. I think it was only on Cryptopia, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I need to probably add that column into the spreadsheet so that we can track the actual exchanges that's on. But I go through and I'm trying to find like a wallet. It says right there, it says web and mobile wallet, but whenever you click on it, it just opens up another instance of the actual website. So it's not accurate. Like that part of the website seems to be a little bit broken. But if you, was I just clicking on it? I can't remember, but I think if you just click on it, that's what it was. I was right clicking on it and choosing open a new tab, and it was just going back to the default website. but if you click on it, you only get to the mobile wallet and not the web wallet. So it looks like there might not be a web wallet. So I downloaded the actual desktop wallet because I didn't want to really put it on my phone. I could have, but so this is what it looks like. It is on GitHub. It is somewhat legitimate as far as the actual wallet goes. It seems good. So I pulled it over to VirusTotal to check it out. It was taking forever. I remember this happening before with another coin. So eventually I think I end up stopping it or trying to stop it, but as I was getting ready to stop it, it finished up. So I just pressed on. But right here is like, wow, it's taking like a really long time. Usually it's like almost instant. So I kind of messed around with this a little bit and just kind of let it go. I think I was doing some other things at the time. But you can see that it's got a couple of hits, and again, this is just because it's either like unsigned or the developers haven't got with these companies and got the actual executable cleared or whatever. If you ran the whole zip file through VirusTotal, it comes up with about 12 different hits at the top there. It gives you a somewhat uncomfortable feeling, but it is being downloaded off of GitHub. And it is open source, so the community kind of polices ourselves. So I'm thinking that it's probably safe. So I did not run the executable or the wallet in this case yet. So once this ends, that'll probably be the first thing I'll do. Yeah. So I think I just go through a couple of things on their websites and get Bitcoin Talk and all that. I think right here I was going to see like so what is the last entry? It seems like sometimes you'll run across a project that won't have an entry for like 3 years in their announcement thread. And this one only has 5 pages, so it's not one that I would consider I probably wouldn't consider mining it for real, but that's just me. It does seem like there was one, what was that, September of this year? That was like the last entry on their actual announcement thread. Not a good look. So that's it for that, and get back over here. I'll leave the webcam on, turn that off. Get back to the desktop and then show you where I'm at. Basically, oh wait, that's not the desktop. Get back to the desktop. All right, so like I was saying, we chose INTUcoin, or it was picked for us randomly. And this is actually wrong right here, right? It was Light V7, I think, something like that. All right, we'll get to that though. Basically, let's go over to. This is their Bitcoin Talk thread. I want to say I'm on the last page, and I am, yeah. And like I was saying, it was like the last entry was November 2nd, which isn't that long ago, but usually like a really good project or something that's active is going to have an active community, something that a lot of people are supporting, and you would end up with a lot of talk about it, right? And it wouldn't be, was this 20 days, more than 20 days before the last entry, right? So I'm not feeling this project at all. It's just not very active, but we're going to mine it anyway. So like I was saying, let's look at our documentation, see where we were at. We've got the coin name, the ticker, and the algorithm. It's just a variant 1, AION, Kryptonite Lite version 7. I think I want to say I already looked it up on CoinMarketCap and there was nothing there. Let's see. Yeah, so see right here, I'm looking for it, but nothing. And then if you go to what to mine, the same thing. So it's not on what to mine, it's not on CoinMarketCap. That's okay. It doesn't mean you can't mine it. It just means it's one of those not so popular coins, right? All right. So let's go to Their website is decent. I mean, it's not horrible. They do have a good white paper look. You know, it's not awful. It's not really long. You know, the text is kind of large, so it's not really that many pages. So it's not too bad. All right, so we already have the first thing I need to do is the wallet, right? So let's go over here and let's run this wallet and see what we come up with as far as what it looks like. And make sure yeah, it died, right? See if I can get this back. All right, there we go. I don't know why OBS does that. It just whenever you run an executable, it blocks OBS for a minute there. So I'm glad I got that back. Let me just double check here. All right, looks like it's back. So all we did was we ran the actual executable for installing the wallet. I'll just install it to all the default places because I'm just gonna remove it after this video, so it's not a big deal. We'll just walk through next, install. So the goal here literally is to just get a receiving address. I went through their Bitcoin talk. I didn't really see one. Like normally I can pull a donation type address or something like that. I didn't see one in there. There might be one, but it was not in the first or the last pages, so I didn't get it. So we click allow access here so the wallet can talk to the network. And if I go to, it's a pretty decent looking wallet actually. It looks like it's downloading the blockchain and all that. What I want to do is copy address. There it is. Okay. So I just want to copy that address so that I can mine to it. I would imagine there's probably a way of creating another receive address. Maybe. I don't know. Let's go ahead and get out of there. So we already accomplished what we needed, which was a receiving address just to mine to. So we'll throw this over here. And it's a desktop wallet. We'll just put that in there just for the heck of it. Alright, and then we'll go, there's no CMC coin market cap value, there's no what to mine. Let's go ahead and grab the Bitcoin Talk thread just for documentation purposes. And this is kind of something you would typically do if you were actually serious about the coin. You know, I'm just kind of walking you through the steps of probably what you should do, you know, if you're serious about mining the coin and not just temporarily like we are here, just for the show kind of thing. All right, and so this is a Kryptonite variant 1, Kryptonite Lite, but before we even get to the miner, we need to get a pool. So let's go back to their, I think there was just a link right there on their website to the pools. We'll go with US pools. And yeah, I think this ended up, yeah, it's the same one that I was on already. So if you click, usually a lot of the pools nowadays have this getting started section here. So if you just click on that, a lot of times you can get all the information that you actually need to set up your miner. In this case, we're going to grab the mining pool address, which is pool.us.intucoin.com. So we're going to copy that and throw that into our documentation right here. And then we need to get a port. And the port, usually I start with like a mid-range hardware kind of thing. Probably could go high end, but we'll just start with mid-range. Usually the low end is just a single GPU, and then the mid-range is like a GPU rig, you know, like what we have. Basically, I'm using we'll be using the AMD rig, which is the bottom rig down here, and it's 9 580s and 2 570s. So we got the port, the pool, and this is kind of cool right here because this particular pool, a lot of pools have this too, where they have this setup feature, right, function on their website. So you can, once you choose, you can just add in all your stuff that you are, should already know here. We'll just try it out here real quick. I think we're doing pretty decent on time. I don't know for sure, but we'll just look at it like this. Not worry about that. And then down here you got the different miners, right? And we're going to be using, I want to use XMRig AMD because I want to show the capability of modifying your intensities. Like with XMR Stack, you had that amd.txt file that you could modify. You could set it up for dual threading. I've done that a bunch of times in these videos. And then also you could set up your intensity. Well, using XMRig or XMRig, it actually does the dual threading for you automatically. But if you need to adjust the actual intensity, then there's some configuration you have to put in the miner config string, or the parameters and arguments and all that stuff, for it to actually, for you to be able to control your intensity. So I want to show that. So I want to use the XMRig AMD. So we'll just, I want to say that you just click see more. So we've already input all this information up here. So we click see more, and then this is kind of like the configuration of your, well, I don't know why it didn't put the stuff in there. Normally it does. Let me go back over there. Yeah, normally it like, I thought that it would put all the information in here, but it didn't. I don't know why. Oh, generate. Wait a minute. Yeah, I forgot to generate. All right, so generate configuration. Now look. So now it's got the configuration. This is like what you would see in like a config.json file. This is not going to apply to simple mining, but you can still kind of get the information from this, right? So it's not going to generate you a simple mining OS, miner option string. This is where, we have to do a little bit of work. So if we're using simple mining, but we're going to use, I think, did I already have the pool in there? Yeah, I did. All right. And then the user address. All right, great. Okay. So, we're going to use XMRig. I don't remember the actual version that we're up to right now, but let's go ahead and head over to simple mining, because we have everything we need, right? We have a receiving address, we have the pool, we have the port that the pool uses, and then we also know what rig or what miner we're going to use, and the rig, of course. So let's go to simple mining OS and go to group config. And then we're going to add a group, and we're using an AMD rig, and we want to use XMRig because I want to show you the whole intensity thing. So we'll choose the latest version here, and then we'll just click select miner, and then we're going to go, I'm going to forget all the stuff about what coin we're actually mining here because I got the actual miner on my brain here. INTUcoin. All right. So what was it? INTU. So we'll go INTU, and again, this is just naming convention, just to keep things uniform, basically. Kryptonite Lite, version 7, right? And then we'll go, this is AMD only, and then YouTube. And then we'll go hardware for the group description, and usually I do pool, do hardware, and then whatever the coin is, and then we'll go like that, whoop, like that, and then the pool was INTUcoin pool. So we'll just do a official pool, something like that. All right. So let's go to down here to the miner config, and I will blow this up once I get the information in there. We'll zoom in on it. So if we go, what do we need? We need the pool, and then we're going to remember that it's 5555. So we go like this. We grab the pool, put that in there. Then we're going to do a colon 5555, and then the address is the wallet receiving address right here. Copy that, throw that in there, make sure we have our spaces and all that stuff right. And I believe that that's all you actually need to successfully mine this, I think. Now I haven't tried it, so I don't know for sure. There might be some other parameters that we have to put in here, like variant and things like that. But it doesn't show that here, so we're just gonna try it like this and see what happens. So let's go down to rig list, or let's go over to rig list. We have to choose this rig here. We're gonna put or assign it to the group that we just created, which was INTU CNL7 AMD, and we're just gonna reload. And it's this rig right here, so you should be able to see it reboot and all that stuff. I'll bring up the console here just to make sure you can see I was mining Haven there. Eventually it's going to restart, hopefully. So this is kind of funny because I'm not going to know whenever this premieres. I'm not going to know what the market's doing, but it was not good right now, right before this one. This is actually at 1 a.m. on Friday morning, 1:19 actually. All right, so it's restarting the miner, and hopefully it will start actually, connect to the pool and actually start hashing. And then we'll be able to quickly look at the whole index control and all that stuff. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it gets there. I don't know, like I was saying, I don't know if we have to actually modify, like there's some other settings in there. Like sometimes you have to put in the variant and all kinds of stuff. So we'll see. All right, so okay, it's signed into the pool. All right, so it's saying rejected share, invalid result. I'm thinking that we're going to have to put the what's it called? The variant information in there, or maybe the algorithm. So, because this is light version 7. So this might get pretty intense, and I don't want to get my miner banned here. Let me get this back on, or my IP address banned. It's usually only for a few minutes, but still. So we'll go like that. Get it back on. Shoot, it's too late. My IP is banned. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see what we can come up with here. I'm guessing that we need to go to group config, and we're gonna have to modify this in some way, but I think that maybe we can add kryptonite. We might be able to just add this right here, kryptonite light. I mean, we'll have to modify it a little bit. Let's see here. Copy that. Go back up to this group here. We're going to add this to the end. just to see. So we're going to go kryptonite light right here. LITE. And then variant. I don't know if it might not need a variant, but we'll see. We'll leave that in there. That's probably not going to work. We'll see. Alright, so we'll save that, and then we'll go and we will assign it back to the rig. And it should restart pretty quickly here. Yeah, there it goes. Alright. So hopefully the algorithm specification in there might fix it. I'm thinking that maybe the actual, what did we do? We added, oh, the variant, that might actually mess it up. So we'll see what it does here. Yeah, it's still, my IP is still banned. So what we can do maybe is, and it does that, it's like a temporary thing. It's like, hey, you're trying to send us the wrong information, you know. What we can do is maybe grab a different pool. Let me assign this back to Haven. And then we'll go over here to their website and go, let's try to find a different pool. Maybe we can just do the Japan pool. I think it's banned for like 10 minutes or something like that. Eventually you'd be alright, but they just don't want you submitting, you know, bogus info to the pool. So that's why they do that. So we're just changing over to the Japan pool, and we will see if this works. Put this back on the INTU group here. Hopefully it'll restart pretty quick. There we go. Hopefully this works. And because I really want to show you the intensity thing with the miner options. Simple mining. Looks alright so far, but there's no telling what's going to happen here. Alright, new job, and it's accepted. So the problem was that the algorithm setting. So you have to set the algorithm so that it knows what you're trying to send it. Alright, so great. Now, so we're mining, everything's good. I don't know about the hash rate, whether or not that's, I mean, it seems high, it seems fine. I mean, obviously we could mess with, you know, overclocks and things like that. But I wanted to show you this. So let's say that you have a GPU, because all this is set automatically. I can show you this again. Let me just restart this miner, so that you can see like how it's setting the. I'll reload the miner, so that you can see how it's setting the intensity whenever it boots up, and it's also doing the dual threading for you. So this is all just hardware stuff here, going through that process. in a moment. It should come up and it'll show you the intensities that each GPU is set at. And this is going to be important to note because we're going to actually modify it. We're going to change it. Hopefully. All right, so right here, intensity 1728. I don't see any other indications. That seems really high, but it's probably just for this particular algorithm. So, all right, so 1728 is the intensity. It seems to be working. All right. But let's say you needed to set your intensity lower or higher, whatever you wanted to play around with it to get the most out of it. Then what you can do is come in here to group config and go to your group that you're assigned, that you have assigned as an XM rig miner. And then the option, now this is an 11 GPU rig that we're dealing with here. So we have 0 through 10, right? That's the number of GPUs. So what we would do here is I'm going to set it really low. That way we can tell that it's actually working right whenever it restarts. But you would start by using the OpenCL TAC devices argument. I think it's devices. Yep, and then this is the way you used to have to dual thread XMRig, but like I was saying, it's actually automatic now. So they modified it in some way. I don't know if it's just for this version, if maybe that's something that they've done in the later versions. But basically, if you remember the AMD.txt file, you had to, have two entries for each GPU. So you'd have index 0 twice, index 1 twice, index 2 twice, and it's the same thing here. So basically we're going to go GPU 0, and then you have to put a comma in between. So that's GPU 0, and it's telling it to dual thread it, right? So then you go 1, 2, just like this, all the way through. And in my case, because I have 11 GPUs, it's going to be 0 through 10, right? 10 and then 10. And then in order to modify the intensity, you have to modify the intensity and the work size. So you have -- tac OpenCL tac launch, and then equals, and then you have intensity, and then the X, and then the work size. So each one, for each one of the GPUs that you have listed here, you'll have, we'll do something small, like 864 times work size of 8. So that's for GPU 0, the first thread, and then for the second thread, it'll look like this, of GPU 0, right? So what we can do is we can just copy that, since we're going to use it for each GPU, the same intensity. And again, you wouldn't do this, like if you were actually using it. So we'll go, if you were actually doing this with your GPUs. So that's GPU 0. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you have to take off the last comma. All I was doing was copying and pasting them basically to get all these up here. I don't know if it's the same, maybe you could just put it once. I don't know. Something I could probably mess around with. But this is what it looks like now. Let me zoom up on this so you can kind of see what's going on here. I'll start at the beginning. That's just my receiving address. It's really long. Password is X, donate level 1%, print time 5 seconds up on the screen here. And then you get into the rig ID. That just identifies the rig to the pool. so you can look up your stats and all that. And then you got OpenCL devices, and then so you have dual threading for each 0 through 10, because this is an 11 GPU rig. And then OpenCL launch shows the intensity, and then the X for times, and then the work size, so 8. You can always reference your amd.txt file from your XMR stack settings to see this information as well. Alright, so that's it for that. So we're going to click save here. And then it was set to reload, so let's see if that actually happens. This is kind of one of those quirky things. It did actually reload, so that's good. So now what you should see is 864 for all the intensities, right? Remember, it was like 1700 or something before. Now, obviously, you wouldn't set it to 864, but I'm just showing that as an example so that you can see that you can actually control the intensities. All right, so it didn't like that at all. Wow, lots of errors here. All right, so probably because the intensity is too low, maybe? Let's go with, I don't know. Maybe we could try like 1700. I don't know. I haven't messed with this particular Kryptonite Light. I have not messed with too much at all. Let's go over here and let's change all those intensities to, let's make it like 17. 1712. I don't know. Just pick a number, right? And then we got to do that. So that's 1. One, 2. That's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I was doing twice for each number, for each GPU. So let's save that. It says 10 doesn't exist. Okay, so you know what? I have seen this before, and it's probably because one of the GPUs doesn't fire up. But it looks like they're all on now, so let's see. So it might not have actually been a problem, even though it seemed like it. It might have been an actual hardware problem, because if one of the GPUs doesn't start up, then you'll get that type of indication. It says selected OpenCL device, index 10 doesn't exist. That's what I'm seeing here. Let me see if I can show you that. And I'm probably way over 30 minutes, but I'll just start it earlier. So selected OpenCL device 10, index 10 doesn't exist. So it probably just didn't pick up on the GPU. So what I'm going to do is, I've had to do this before. I'll just power it down. All the fans are spinning, so usually that means that it's good. All the fans are spinning, so we'll see what happens this time. I think we've got it right. So, but it's tricky because if like you're seeing, if you have a GPU that's actually not firing up and not being seen by the system, then that string isn't going to match, right? Because it's going to try to initialize a device that doesn't exist to the miner. So it's real tricky. You have to really look at what the actual error message is telling you. Right here it says selected OpenCL device, index 10 doesn't exist. So, I mean, that makes it sound like, okay, the miner has been configured to use index 10 or GPU 10, and it's not being seen by the system. So that's basically what we're looking at here. So it's just restarting. Hopefully it'll come up and be good to go. It's kind of weird. It's only showing GPU 0. Huh. And not the right intensity. Did we tell it 1712? That is what we told it, right? All right, so it looks like, let me double check that, but it looks like it's working. So right here, 1712 for each GPU. So let's go and make sure that that's what we set it to. And like I said, we can kind of goof around with it to make sure that it is. Yep, see right here? So it's 1712, so that is what we set it to, even though, wow, it looks like I got a comma on the end there, does it? Or maybe it's just too long. Let's go all the way over here. So if you needed to, wow, it took it with that with that comma on the end. That's kind of weird. Normally that would throw it like an error, but so if you need to adjust your intensities, that's how you do it using XMRig. So I'll just let me zoom up on this a little bit here so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. And you know, we had to switch over to the Japan pool just because our IP was banned, and it was banned because we didn't have the algorithm set. So keep that in mind whenever you're using the XMRig miner. You're going with SMOS, you're going to want to set your algorithm to the appropriate algorithm. So there you go. I hope everybody enjoyed this. I did. I like doing stuff like that, like, you know, the whole modification of the miner program itself, you know, and what's being fed to it and how it starts up and everything. And then I like seeing it work and accepted shares and all that stuff. So pretty cool. Let's go in here and just show you this one more time, just to show you that it is, you know, mining and it's got accepted shares. And honestly, that intensity didn't change the hash very much. So that is it. Let's see, it's Friday. I'm working on a video, like a normal video, not a live stream. Hopefully I'll get that out pretty soon. It should be pretty interesting. And then we'll start this back up on Monday. And hey, listen, I appreciate everybody stopping in and checking this out. And I will see y'all next time. Peace.